did you know? Did you know that I really like shapes too? Choo-choo. Man, I should get back to that game. I just started my classic hardbook journey, and I don't know, man. I sincerely regret my world gen decisions. I should probably just start a new world. Oh, there's a good reason why you don't want to turn on tertiary colors and all that funny business. But on the other hand, it's a fun challenge to try and figure out a way to extract individual corner pieces and like min-max my random assortment of garbage. If I wish to become the king of trash, I must embrace the garbage. Not the spaghetti, though. We hit that doomsday button. The final warhead has launched. Our parents are on their way to Dinofornia. And will arrive in 2 days. Aina and I have 3 days to prepare. Man, that's a... I mean, I know that today is still part of the days you got, but hey. Trash out! Oh, they're just clean. Yeah, the soundtrack's pretty delish. Motherfucking crumbs all over the goddamn oven. How long have you been here? How did you mess up the oven that bad? Clean that dang rug. Didn't your mom visit, like, recently? Didn't their mom visit, like... Yeah, that's what I mean. Why is your dad gonna be more scrutinizing? I thought he was, like, floating around and uninterested. So this is the first time that Anon's dad is implied to have any degree of agency, by the way. Before this, it kind of felt like he just floated through existence and had nothing to contribute to any conversation. It's really weird how they're trying to have their cake and eat it too, just all the damn time. It's like there's several distinct stories existing at once, but the author just doesn't want to write multiple fixes, just cram it all in there. And on... I have a really simple question. Why the fuck do you own a porn mag? Why do you have a physical magazine? It's the 2020s, man! Who owns physical porn? Unless you printed out your shit. That's fine, but like... Ugh. I think the real tongue lashing is that they wonder why the hell boobies were ending up in the toilet water. Unless you got something to tell us, Anon. I'm at school. Get tonight and tomorrow to make sure everything is spotless. I mean, the real trick is keeping it in order. I still don't get this. Like, if Anon's dad was this kind of scrutinizing, then how come none of it is reflected in their characters? Like, you can't just suddenly say, oh, our dad also is a pain in the ass about this. I'm like, it's been implied that your dad had to get kicked into gear by your mom. So, how the fuck, man? Why are we suddenly adding this character trait that feels kind of definitionally important to the people? It would just, now, because it's funny, I guess. It's not funny, right? A joke works because there's setup and execution. You can't just suddenly make the joke, but also, that's not a joke. That's not good improv. No, actually, good improv is, but also most of the time, but usually is momentum more than anything. And this stops momentum. Also, most improv tends not to be held up to as big of a standard. You're writing this fucking shit, man. Your mom could just be this annoying about it, and she was just visiting on a dime, so she wasn't too heavy about it. But now she's worried about how you're doing, and she wants to make sure that, you know, there's a different angle so you can play it like that. Also, we still know how to feel about Anon and Fags being non-binary. It's just, what a weird thing to include in your story. Why would you keep that consistent? I guess it's so that Fang doesn't have an arc of their own to worry about. Has Samantha ever demonstrated any particular need for cleanliness? I don't think your parents really have the authority to make that decision for you, though. Because you're 18 and all. I like how apparently your parents have this ridiculous standard, even though it's so weird, man. Also, this gives off the impression that you wanted to be away from your parents way before this moment, right? That you've been desperate to get away from these people. And that's not how the story reads at all. Like, it's so weird. It's so weird to suddenly pull this entirely separate angle out. I love this part. I don't know if it's a leitmotif, but it's certainly a nice industrial little banger. Like, it's got that rhythmic sound of, like, machines going... Go play Shapes 2. It's great. You can download all the complex blueprints, and then you can focus on the macro building. Like, listen, I'm not into, like, the little space platforms, okay? But I do really like the train level optimizations of building little train stations and optimizing those down to the... Like, how do I get this to connect up quickly? I just don't like the little platforms where you have to worry about fucking 12 input and outputs. And you have to have 4 of those, but that's fine because you can copy the platform. But you have to have 4 inputs, 4 outputs, and the machines are all kinds of shapes and sizes. You only have 3 levels to worry about. You cannot put 2 tall machines on the 3rd level either. Like, I could just use a bigger platform. I know. But I just like where everything's small. When it's just like, this is my input-output, and it's not big because I'm a big fat idiot. I say as I look at my other designs and go, these aren't very trim and slow. I try my best, okay? I started off really flat, and then I embraced... Actually, for a while, I thought you couldn't even build on the 2nd level in space. I thought space was just flat. I don't know why. I tried to build something, and it just said no. And I don't know why. I thought you couldn't build machines on the 2nd level. You could put conveyors there, but not belts. I love how belts in that game are, like, they don't care, right? If you switch levels, you can go any direction you like. You can even 180. That's so awesome. It's so... Listen to this man talk about... belt directionality. What a nerd! They have to worry about, like, splitting off your belts properly because you don't... I don't know, it's like a minor thing, but if you split your belt, it's 50-50 if you split it down the middle. So if you do that for 4 machines in a row, then... What ends up happening is it goes half to one, then a quarter to the next, and then, you know, if you want to do is want to split it off early so you got 2 halves, and you can twist the halves and the quarters. Because otherwise, your fractions end up a little weird, and the machine, I don't know, it just doesn't look as clean. It makes me, Do I hear music? Yeah, because every single goddamn person in the world makes that exact same fucking joke. Now, let's go do an operator's journey. Ooh! Naomi must be sick or something. Of course you have a family chat. Your mom is trying to be memes. I still don't get what the point is about this, right? We just had a chapter where we delved into the fact that Reed is fucked up, and all I can think about is that wasn't necessary. This really is a fic that's trying to do too many things that aren't really relevant. Like, it's flabby. I'm just gonna say it. It's a very flabby fic. It's got a lot of fat coming out all the sides, and it doesn't work. They're all doing with college, which is funny because most don't really think about this too much. Hell, even Goodbye Volcano High, which is fundamentally about the abandonment of high school life and all the friends you made along the way, is fairly disconnected from the process in this way. I also don't like that these guys are just sitting in a heap all the time. They do it quite often. I don't know why I don't like it. I feel like there's never really enough chemistry to make it pop. You know, this is a good moment to have characters interact in all these dynamic ways under different circumstances, but this author is a lot of fat and very little spark, very little fire. Where's the skinny wing? Why? Because Reed did confess to Anon about the whole thing. Man, why does romance gotta... I like how we're being this scrutinizing about this relationship, but Anon dating Fang is not treated as a problem at all. Don't you think you caused maybe some problems for these people in their friend group and their dynamics, Anon? But do you think you might have messed that up a little? Marshall was a valedictorian, insisted everything to do with English and history, all sorts of convincing. I mean, I do like the fact that even though he's got that you know, what's it called again? Not progeny. Protege? No. He's got that gifted kid in him. He's got that gifted kid in him, but he never leveraged it. Not even in the way that he just didn't like that his parents, you know, having that kind of a prodigy, that's the word. Prodigy. Even though he has that potential, he never really applied himself because he could skirt by and then eventually hits the wall of like, actually, you have to try now. And he's like, I never had to apply myself, so I don't know what trying means. You know. I know that's why they have harder classes, but on the same footnote, those really don't know what they need to, fundamentally speaking. Nothing in the world, you don't get into college. Which is weird, because like half of Snoot Game is you gotta get into college or you go into the army and life sucks. Except for the fact that like 2 out of 3 endings are about going to the army. It's just it's a hell of a thing. Also, wasn't Anna doing this already? I got the feeling she was already busy with this, at least at some level. Man, this just makes me think of the what was it again? Goodbye Vacation High apparently was gonna have like a little cinematic where Fang goes through all the different colleges. And every time it's Fang going like, man, I can't go to college. This sucks. I hate this. And once more, we make the fucking joke that I have enough of this. I have enough. It's poison. Poison. Gets out of here. It's like alcohol. Too much of it. She's gonna go for the fucking BMA. Ugh. Also, I find it impressive that you can even afford college. You're gonna go to community college, baby. Not gonna lie, dude. Didn't expect that from you. Thought you were gonna make it big. Yeah, isn't that like half the fucking point of the band? Is that she had to cheat out of it? After the pop-up concert I had, I think the other might not make it in the professional world. I can't imagine that, like, you do professionally and you realize, wow, this is great and fun. I can't imagine doing all the fucking money stuff. That's gonna freak me out, you know? You realize that suddenly you need money, you need to... Oh. Let's explore the void. Oh, you managed to prove to yourself what you needed to prove. Maybe this will when I made it. So we're going to be very much in an E4 angle. Some confessional versus Whiplash into this thing. Why does it leave me? Everyone knows what they're gonna do with their life, and I'm just a big loser. You're still a boyfriend, and unless you become non-binary or decide to switch things up, you are still just a boyfriend. You're boyfriend and partner. I'm sorry. That's how it works. It's just weird like that, okay? Last class of the day, it's music. English chat to relax and be themselves. I think this will be the way to let loose going on in their head today. Ah, they're not getting into it. It feels like all their little fingers have turned to butter. Fang upset, I awkward. Unga bunga. There, that's better. Sibling shit, you know, and Asa could be. He's probably upset that Naomi hasn't shown up. Yeah, I imagine hearing from Trish that they were this confident in what they wanted to do, and from Rhea and everything, probably undermined, like, your band confidence a little bit. Music suddenly takes on a different tone. But, you know, it's, again, kind of what Gabavaka and I tried to do, and something Snoot Game mostly ignored. Because Snoot Game isn't really about Fang. In that way, at least. I love that feeling. Anna's been doing all the stuff, and I nothing, because I'm a big fat dum-dum. Just that college isn't the be-all end-all. Public ones, trade schools, maybe get certain to work. I mean, you don't have a job right now, buddy, so I know what you're talking about. I know what you want to do. I want you to be a really shoes manager to Dr. Terrace. No. Like, I'm okay with them talking like this, but is Anon really the kind of person to say extremely flat, basic platitudes like this? Shouldn't you have a bit more fucking character to it? Like, I feel like someone like Anon would sooner say something like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'm a loser. You're a musical prodigy with no sense of direction. As long as we're together, maybe we can eke out something. You know? Something that acknowledges their personal failings and all. There's a little bit of awareness. I thought they were trying to be past this arc. This is such a flat fucking platitude, man. Like, Anon, for fuck's sake, you're not a normie. Stop it. You're supposed to have some of that character, that bazing, you know? Like, look at Night in the Woods. You got May and Bay talking, and it feels very much like May is just a fucking idiot. Trying their best instead of yelling out the platitude, because the platitude don't work. Feels too much like something that doesn't have a real longevity to it. Endless shapes! The bone! Wait, out at you? I'm surprised you haven't been shot and killed by Ripley. How did that not happen? The retard decided to let mom and dad know that he's happy about my relationship status at the dinner table. I managed to get a cookie and suggestions for dad and Derek and me over dinner. Uh-oh. Nasser, how could you be this fucking stupid? That's a bro, take a chill. Is he really a bro if he's this fucking dense? Pick better bros. Arguing traction, you'll be fine. Just run away real fast. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Please. Un momento! Por favor! Remember I said the characters, No, fuck off. No, this is chapter 1, Safi. That's why your search isn't working. So, you know how I said that it sometimes feels like Anon and Anon and Ana do not have different voices? This cool, no doubt, is pretty much verbatim, it's pretty much fucking verbatim what Reed said. And my problem with that is that felt like a very specific thing for a guy who's, like, high up on drugs, who's fucking around. This is what I mean, man. Doesn't have a voice. Let me show it to you. Cool, cool, cool. Or cool, 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 cool. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. And then you go to the other one. This is what I mean. You might say, Safi, that's like a little thing. No, no, this is a fairly specific thing. It's not like a generic sentence structure. Like, and on could be like, oh, yeah, great, fuck, yeah, fantastic. You know, something different. Like, the response is still mostly the same, so it's still like you're kind of overlaying the characters. But, you know, you're using the exact same words at this point. Like, you're repeating your same fucking thing. Like, that's what I mean with people don't have voices. Their conversations sound alike. I can't tell who's talking based on what they're saying. Sometimes. Very often, in fact. Like when you have Roberts talking, right, you want her to sound strict and formal and cordial, no swears, very, very, very meticulous, right? There's this certain charismatic, persuasive energy that's supposed to be bleeding into her words because she's been doing this for a while. With Anon, you want it to be short, conversational, maybe a bit too tight, you know, like he's just trying to get rid of you. There's ways to dress this stuff up. I'm not saying you have to do it with everyone all the damn time, but for your main characters, maybe it fucking helps, especially if it's your goddamn POV character. Okay, so everyone knows. I like how this massive thing of like they have to keep the relationship a secret, but they just like it's like they're just speed running all the parts I don't care about. They still include everything anyway. Dude, you hurt yourself trying to defend your sister. I don't think they're gonna get mad at you. Also, if this was a story with some gusto, Anna would be hurt in the kind of way where his dad is like, "Oh, you're never getting in the army, buddy." Not like that. Not in the infantry, at least. You will want to talk to him. Like, you know what? I think I'm not gonna give this as much shit because Anon's like further along as a character and he's changed more. But damn, Meteor Game does a lot of similar stuff to this, where Anon's like not Anon anymore. Not because he has to, but because he feels like this weird obligation. And like that one commenter pointed out, like, yeah, Anon does stuff because he has to, but he'll always stop short of actually having to do anything, you know? I mean, you know, telling people to jump off a cliff is fairly common. The fact that he's stupid enough to do it. Again, like, this sounds like something that you and Nasser argue about when it's really more Fang has just traumatized themselves with the actions that they took. Like, this is way more... It's just weird what we're trying to do here, buddy. Nasser only looks crippled. Like, this is the thing the story doesn't point out, right? Nasser's wing doesn't actually do anything. So who fucking cares if it works or not? He just looks a little lopsided, but outside of that, it's not like his arm is gone. You have no idea what I've been through. Yeah, I don't get it either. This feels like something that should happen way earlier in the relationship when it's not so fragile. Like, considering everything you've talked about, surely Fang understands that you do have a decent perspective on matter, right? Instead of immediately dismissing you as nothing. But maybe it's just stress. It's also really weird because a lot of this felt like Fang wasn't really going to have much of an arc to talk about, because, you know, seemed to focus more on Reed and the like. Nothing else matters. Ah! Except for Fang. I don't get this, right? Like, where does Fang get the stamina from? Like, sure, they're a dinosaur, they got better athleticism or whatever, but Anon, you actually, like, exercise regularly, intensively. It's so fucking, like, Anon's become such a, like, flat guy who's lost most of its edge, you know? I'm a fucking mess. Which is really weird to say considering that Fang has mostly been alright. Like, what really has this Fang been dealing with? Like, your dad, you got rid of your dad and he seemed okay with everything that happened. Mostly. Like, I'd be okay if the story is more that Fang is unable to move on past things because they feel so responsible that they can't imagine that things actually work out. Which is kind of like how the rooftop scene goes, is that it's like, how the fuck can you be like this? Like, you're nobody, and you do everything right, and I can't move past anything. Fang, you are just little baboos. Do you believe in the dodecahedron? Jesus fucking Christ. I feel like we've had this conversation like 8,000 times. But then again, I think it's mostly that half the plot in this is that people don't understand how they feel for each other. And I don't mean that in an interesting way. I mean that in the sense of, like, if you just had this fucking conversation and didn't immediately throw up your mental barriers, you get somewhere. Which is fine if, like, one person has that issue. When, like, oh, this guy's problem is that he believes nobody because he's isolated himself so much that blah, blah, blah. You know where it's going. It's a little different when, like, this feels to be the central thesis is, hey, everyone sucks at talking. I like this song, man. Listen. Family's important. Except for the fact that you don't want your parents to show up. Also, you don't want their... Isn't it kind of weird that, like, their parents are kind of treated with this degree of, we don't want them around in this conversation? Sweet tough, look at me! They're gorgeous! What do you want to do? I think I'm gonna go play some fucking ramp after this, man. I need to... I need to do something that's actually at least somewhat competently put together. This is so long in the fucking tooth. Why is Anon the one who has to fix this fucking relationship? You already switched to Fang's POV. Why not just fucking use it? Ugh. Oh, this... Again, it sounds like machines, but the funny part is you're so often zoomed out. Like, once you get trains right, you just build train stations. You just build, like, little modules that do things for you. Man, I love this one guy who's just fucking a loser, man. What a goddamn loser this guy is. There's several artists at this point that I just follow on the websites of choice, primarily because they're fucking losers who bitch and complain. Oh, shit, I lost something. Excuse me. Oh, there it is. They're losers who are like, I want to be famous. I want to be popular if I could go back in time. And all they do is bitch about the fact that, you know... It's like, I get it. Shit sucks. It's not great. But, It's like they've externalized all their validation and purpose in life, and that's not healthy. And I appreciate that the comments to this are partially like, hey, buddy, things weren't that good back then either. You know that? And some are straight up like, yeah, that'd be neat. I would love to go back and just take a look around. And it's so obvious that, like, this fucking loser is the only idiot in the room that thinks like this. Because all he really wants is the easy way out, right? Like, it's not about the past. It's about the fact that he doesn't want to work anymore. He's done with it. Man, if only I'd grown my tree early. And the answer is you can't solve that. That's the human condition, my man! That's like... That's what people write stories about. Is that they realize too late that they should have done something a little earlier. I'm in that trajectory. And if you let it get to you, if you start bitching and whining about it, you're just a fucking crybaby. Shit ain't gonna get done if you're just gonna sit around and go, If only I'd done things yesterday. Well, yesterday's done. How about you do something today so that tomorrow you can look back and say that you actually did something yesterday for once? God! What a loser.